For decades, survivalists, campers, and homesteaders have trusted plastic tarps to shield them from the elements, to block the rain, cover gear, or serve as an emergency shelter. But anyone who's spent enough time in the wild knows the truth. Those thin blue or green tarps never last. They tear under strain, shred in the wind, and crumble under sunlight. They promise protection, but over time they become fragile, disposable, and loud reminders of how modern convenience can fail against nature's patience. Yet long before plastic sheets filled every hardware store, builders, explorers, and soldiers had already perfected a better solution, a fabric so tough it could endure years of rain, sun, and grit. Without a single thread of synthetic fiber, it was waterproof, reusable, nearly indestructible, and it came from something most people threw away. That material was recycled canvas, treated with natural oils and waxes, the same formulas once used by World War II engineers, naval deckhands, and early homesteaders, before nylon was even invented. The story of this forgotten fabric begins in the early industrial era, before the world turned to plastic. In those days, every army, sailor, and tradesman carried what was called oilcloth or waxed canvas. It was born from necessity. Worn-out sails, tent canvas, and flour sacks were coated with a blend of boiled linseed oil, beeswax, and natural resins. The result was a waterproof shield that could last for decades in the harshest weather. These rugged sheets became ponchos, bedroll covers, and field tarps. They weren't just strong, they were self-healing. When the oiled fibers absorbed moisture, they swelled, tightening the weave and sealing gaps. Instead of leaking, the fabric became even more waterproof. The wetter it got, soldiers often carried folded squares of waxed canvas in their packs, a single piece that could serve as a ground sheet, a rain cover, or a makeshift stretcher. It was lightweight, durable, and endlessly reusable. When a top finally wore thin, it wasn't discarded. It was cut, re-oiled, and reborn. One piece of cloth could serve through multiple campaigns, outlasting any synthetic we have today. The brilliance of this design lay not in modern chemistry, but in balance. The harmony between water resistance and breathability. Plastic tarps, for all their convenience, trap moisture on both sides. They suffocate the ground beneath them, creating mildew, condensation, and that familiar sour smell that lingers after a rainy night. Waxed canvas, on the other hand, breathes. It repels water while allowing slow evaporation, keeping the space underneath dry, cool, and odor-free. The oil fills microscopic gaps between fibers, while the cotton itself swells when humid, tightening the fabric naturally. Rain slides off, but trapped condensation can still escape as vapor. That's real engineering, done with nothing but nature's materials, and the difference in longevity. Astounding. A typical plastic tarp lasts 6 months to a year before the sun and wind turn it brittle. A properly treated canvas tarp, maintained over time, can endure 10 to 15 years, sometimes longer. Flexible, tear-resistant, repairable with just heat or an extra coat of wax. It's no wonder early explorers, Arctic expeditions, and pre-war mechanics depended on it. When failure wasn't an option, they trusted fabric made by hand, not by factory. And the best part? You can still make it yourself. All you need is 100% cotton canvas denim, old tenting material, or heavy-duty cotton duck. Wash it, dry it, and prepare a simple mixture. Equal parts melted beeswax and boiled linseed oil. For every 2 square meters of fabric, you'll need about 1 cup of each. Warm the blend until smooth. Then brush or rub it evenly into the cloth while it is still slightly warm from the sun or a heat source. The heat opens the fibers, allowing them to absorb the oil deeply. Hang the fabric in a well-ventilated space for a day or 2 to cure. As it sets, the color deepens and the texture turns slightly tacky, a sign it's sealing properly. Once cured, a gentle heat pass with a hairdryer or low flame smooths the surface to a soft, waxed finish. When you test it, water beads and rolls away, just like on waxed leather boots. That's the old world's craftsmanship, reborn. Reapply the mixture every few months or once a year, depending on how often it's exposed. If beeswax is hard to find, paraffin wax or natural tallow will work, though nothing matches beeswax for longevity and scent. Seafarers once added pine tar to increase UV and mold resistance, a smart addition for long-term outdoor use. And the applications? Endless. In the field, it makes a perfect ground sheet, one that doesn't collect condensation. Fold it twice, and you've got a dry, soft base for sleeping bags. No clammy plastic feel. As a lent to a sheltered wall, it blocks rain and wind while staying silent in gusts. A small mercy every soldier once appreciated. Gardeners use smaller pieces to cover compost piles, allowing heat to escape while keeping rain out. Farmers still rely on oilcloth sheets to protect tools, hay bales, and ikemen, because they don't tear like polyethylene. In emergencies, a single 6 by 8 foot piece becomes invaluable. It can serve as a poncho, a stretcher, a pack cover, or even a makeshift tent. And if it's punctured, repairs take seconds. Just heat it gently and press on another bit of waxed cloth until it bonds. That self-healing property can literally mean the difference between comfort and hypothermia. Today, as supply chains falter and plastic waste piles higher than ever, a growing number of preppers, homesteaders, and craftsmen are rediscovering this timeless method, not because it's quaint, but because it works. Waxed canvas is biodegradable, sustainable, and fully repairable. It can be made entirely from discarded materials, giving waste a second life. It represents independence, a system built on renewal, not replacement. From trench engineers in World War II to frontiersmen crossing muddy passes, waxed canvas proved itself across generations and continents. The old ways weren't primitive, they were perfected through necessity. Those who return to them aren't clinging to nostalgia. They're reclaiming a kind of freedom modern materials forgot. This is more than a craft. It's a philosophy that good gear should last, and that resilience is built by hand. If your goal is reliability, stop buying plastic that dies in sunlight. Start making something that improves with time. A tarp that strengthens with every season, resists the weather naturally, and costs almost nothing once you know how. These tarps were born from need, refined by generations who couldn't afford failure, and they remain one of the most effective, eco-friendly survival materials ever made. For those who value function over fashion and permanence over plastic, this is the way back to real craftsmanship. To learn more about forgotten survival materials, lost wartime innovations, and gear that outperforms the modern world, subscribe to In the Beginning. Because sometimes the smartest tools for the future are the ones the past has already perfected.